Good morning and welcome to Legend Acres. And so I am Christy and I have Tuff with me here today. And for Tuff's training tips Tuesday, so Tuesdays with Tuff. And what we're going to cover today is we're actually going to cover canine cognition. So it's something that we've talked about in our past lives that we have done, and so we're going to go a little bit more into depth today, and we're going to do an example of a game, and I'm going to show you how you can apply this with your dog. And so canine cognition is all about getting our dogs to slow down, process, and think. And so what this is that when they're trying to kind of process the world and take things on, sometimes they feel very scattered to us, where they're going, oh, what's this and what's that and what's this and what's this, and they're kind of just moving on to the next thing. And we feel like we get lost in the mix. And so we may be standing there, but their attention is definitely not on us, and their focus is not there on us. And so and we've talked about bond building, and so with bond building comes these games, these interactive games. If you notice, I'm sitting on the floor, and so one of the things that I do periodically is I sit on the floor, I get down on my dog's level, and I spend some time with them down on their level. Okay, and so Tuffs wants to jump up onto the bench here because he says, "Why are we on the floor, Mom?" But what we're going to do today is with this canine cognition, getting them to slow down and think. We're going to work on a decision-making exercise today, and so I do have these treats. I want to give a shout out to Erin here at Can I Get a Rough Rough? And so we do have some samples of her treats here. I have some chicken jerky and I have some pumpkin biscuits today. And so we do have some of her samples, so you can stop by the office and pick these up. She is at the farmer's market in Sterling Grove in Surprise, Arizona on Sundays. And you can also order from her website, canigetaaroughrough.com. And so we're going to use these. Tuff already told me he really likes these cookies. So we tried some of these before we did this session today. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today is definitely going to be that decision making for dogs. Okay, so what we want them to do is we want them to slow down and we want them to make choices. All right, so this game is going to be where I have this piece of chicken jerky. I'm going to have it in this hand, but I'm going to offer Tuff both hands. I'm going to say, Tuff, which hand? Good boy. And he picked the one with the chicken jerky, so he gets the cookie. Now, the important part of this game is that I want him to make a decision, and I want him to make a rapid decision. So there's not necessarily a wrong answer in this game. So Tuff, which hand? Good boy. Good job. Good job. Tuff, you want to come over here so everybody can see what you're doing over there? Here. Can you come around over here? Tuff, touch. Good boy. All right. Tuff, which hand? Oh, he says, hold on. It's very crunchy. He's got to crunch it. So while he's crunching over there, Tuff, which hand? Nope, it's not that one, it's this one. So he picked the wrong hand, but I gave him the cookie anyways, because this is not about guessing the right hand, this is about making a decision, okay? So he's gonna crunch on that crunchy pumpkin cookie there. So we're gonna talk about what this means. So what happens when you're driving down the road and there's a squirrel in the middle of the road and it won't make a decision? Okay, so usually it doesn't end up well for the squirrel. So we don't want our dogs to be in that squirrel mentality of where they say, oh, but there's something going on over here, but you've called them over to you. And they're like, and I know that you're over there, but there's this, and then there's you, and then there's this. And so we want them to make a decision. Even if it's the wrong decision, we want them to make a rapid decision. Okay, so I either want them to choose to do this over here or choose to come to me. But this back and forth thing, okay, gets a little old pretty quickly, right? So what this game is then is one or the other. Okay, so Tuff, which hand? Good. All right, now with this game, Tuff can either pick one or the other. He can try to pick both hands. He can pick down the middle, or he can leave. There's nothing I'm doing right now to make him sit right here and play this game with me. So he's choosing to be here to play this game with me. All right, Tuff, I'm gonna bring him over here so you can see. Tuff, touch, good boy. All right, Tuff, which hand? Nope, not that hand, it's this one. So even when he gets the hand wrong, it's not a wrong decision, it's just that I'm asking him to just pick one. Because I want you to think about this. This is also a confidence building game. So once Tuff gets really confident with this game, with this touch game, and picking a hand, right, and making a decision, how much faster is going to be his sit, or his down, or his recall when you call him away from whatever it is over there. So what we're teaching here is we're teaching them to make rapid decisions. Tuff, which hand? Good job. And the thing is that the rapid decision here is what's important, because in that moment you want them to make any decision, just make a decision, but not be that squirrel in the middle of the road that's not making a decision. And what this does then is this builds confidence and an understanding and a rapid decision making. So then when you do ask them to do something, when there's distraction and some other things happening around them, they are much quicker at making the decision to do the next thing, okay? Where you don't feel like you have to repeat yourself or you have to go over and put your hands on them. Because this is what we're trying to eliminate, is that micromanaging, okay? So if you always have to touch your dog to get their attention, or touch them to then give them a cue to do what you need them to do, then what are you gonna have to do forever? You're always going to have to touch them. Right? And so what we want to do is we want to get them out of that mindset and start making their own decisions with this game, okay? And so this is just called the which hand game, right? And I'll do it a couple more times here so that you can see, because I have a little bit more of this chicken jerky left here. So Tuff, which hand? Good boy. He said, here, you didn't take the chicken jerky. Here you go. Good. All right. Okay, so I picked it up with this hand, but I'm going to stick it into this hand. Tuff, which hand? Nope, not that one. It's this one. Now, if you have a dog that keeps picking the same hand over and over again, there's a very easy way to do this. Is what you're going to do is you're going to put a treat in both hands, close them both. Tuff, which hand? Good boy. So he's got the first hand right, but now I'm not picking anything else up with my hands. Tuff, which hand? No, you already got this hand. Tuff, which hand? Oh, there was a distraction. Good boy, but he picked it there. Now, when they make a decision here, they can either look at the hand, they can touch it with their nose, or they can touch it with a paw. Okay, so anything that acknowledges that they're acknowledging that hand and making a decision. But there was a truck, I don't think you could hear it in the background, that went by, and it was really loud. And so that's what Tuff was looking at, was the noise in that direction over there. So this game is something that you can do to build confidence. Again, remember, it's not a trick. Once they get really good at the game, you can start then putting your hands behind your back and bringing them out to ask which hand. But in the beginning, let them see exactly what you're doing. If you're going to be passing it from one hand to the next, let them see that and pick, because this is really about building confidence and making right decisions, okay? So this isn't meant to be a trick and trying to get them stumped on which hand you pick or anything like that. And this is a really good game that gives you an insight into their thought process, because if you have a dog that's trying to pick both or says, I don't know which one, and it doesn't pick, it kind of gives you an insight into their thought process, and you can see where these confidence building games, this canine cognition work, helps build their confidence and helps them be better decision makers. And if you have any other questions about any of our canine cognition games, or need any help with getting your dogs to slow down and process, if you feel like you're just in the room but they're really not paying attention to you, that's definitely something that we can help you with. And so I just got a couple of other things that I want to go over. So again, these cookies were the Can I Get a Rough Rough are these cookies, and we do have some samples here in the office that you can come pick up, but you can also go to her website, www.canigettaroughrough.com, because she has her pumpkin cookies out right now for fall and for Halloween. And so I just want to remind everybody that we are doing our Halloween costume contest. Now, this is pet Halloween costume contest. This doesn't mean it has to be a dog. So you can dress up your cat. We had a chicken enter last year, horse, whatever you have to enter into our Halloween costume contest. All you need to do is submit a photo of your pet in the event, or you can email it to us at legendacres@hotmail.com. The other thing is that we do have some classes coming up for both Tennessee and Arizona locations. And so tomorrow we start our group classes in the park at Sierra, Montana and Surprise, Arizona. And the registration for those courses is online through Parks and Rec. And there is a link on our website to take you there to that registration, to register there. And so those classes start tomorrow. We're offering fundamentals, intermediate, and an AKC novice trick class, which is a lot of fun and helps build confidence in dogs too. So we play a lot of games. There's a lot of canine cognition that goes on in that course as well. And then we have our online and in-person group classes that we're coining our hybrid classes. So what that means is that you can be in our classroom or you can be zoomed in to these classes. And so our next set of group classes start Saturday, October 24th. And that is a fundamentals class at 10 a.m. and an intermediate class at 11:15 a.m. Now that's Mountain Standard Time. So I believe that that's noon, and then I think that's like a 1:15 in Central Standard Time. And then we also have another set of group classes Tuesday night starting the 27th, and those classes are going to be at 3 p.m. for 2 p.m. for fundamentals, I had it right, and 3 p.m. for intermediate course. And again, there's that 2-hour difference for Central Standard Time until I think we hit November 1st, then we're going to hit a 3-hour difference there. But that means that those classes for fundamentals are at 4 p.m. and then intermediate is at 5 p.m. on Tuesday night. And you can find all of that on our website at www.legend-acres.com. And you can also find all that information here on Facebook. If you go over to our events link, you can see everything that's going on. And I also want to point out that today is Prime Day, and so if you go onto our online store and use the code PRIME2020, you can save 25% off of your ship to me order, okay? So you have to choose the ship to me order to get that order drop shipped to get that $25 off for Prime Day. And so not only are you saving today for Prime Day, but you also, that runs through Thursday night midnight is when that code expires in our online store. And you can reach our online store through our website as well. And I want to thank you for tuning in today, and I hope that you have some fun this week doing some canine cognition exercise, playing that witch hand game with your dogs this week. And let us know how the game went in the comments. If your dog was really confident in the game, or was there anything about when you applied this game that surprised you? So thank you so much for tuning in today, and you all have a fantastic week.